so maybe I shouldn't say it. Although it's not really a swear word, is it? It's just like hell.
Which word?
It's, you know, it says it's like the Swedish version of like the word hell, right?
What do you mean, like what if you're fun? I think that's it, isn't it?
No, it's almost the same as what I'm saying. But anyway, the point is I'm trying not to say it then.
Oh,
you see, I'm trying not to say something.
I know
you're
what
just saying what you think I'm trying not to say.
I know what you mean. That is actually quite rude, yeah.
But is it a swear word though? I mean, it's just like hell and something, isn't it?
I think it's swearing.
Okay, I don't know. If it's swearing, then send us tweets. Let us know, because I don't know. I know it's like, you know, some kind of taboo word in Swedish, but I don't know if it's an actual swear word. But I mean, I know like hey. It's really cute when Swedish chicks say hey, because they're like hey.
Yeah, I actually think that is
voice.
The cutest thing.
The cutest thing.
Yeah, that's why I love going to Sweden.
I mean, cats are cute. You think like that's the cutest thing in the world, or in Sweden, or with girls, or what?
Well, it wasn't a literal statement.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. But I mean, they're just cute anyway, so it doesn't matter what they say.
It's a very cute thing.
It's whatever. They could be talking about like mud or cleaning toilets. Be like, cleaning toilets. Be like, oh my god. Cleaning toilets never looks so good. Where do I sign up?
My favorite Swedish word is sandslott.
What does that mean?
Sandcastle.
Oh, you have a phrase that includes the word sandcastle. Is that Italian though? That particular phrase?
No.
Or is it Swedish?
Yeah, it's a Swedish phrase.
Oh, okay.
Because that's a Swedish word. It would be weird.
Wait, you said that in an interview, didn't you, where you had that massive afro?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Massive
What is
afro.
that? What is that video called? What do you mean? It was a mess of hair, if you like. If you don't want to say afro, there was a lot of hair on your head, and it wasn't doing anything coordinated. it was just there.
It's just this. Yeah, that was an interview when I was playing at ESWC in 2008, I think.
We should play that video.
No, we really shouldn't.
We should.
It made it like someone found it and put it on Reddit one time, and that was.
Next time.
I was quite sad.
We're not post Watershed yet, but we should get that video. Who has the rights to that video?
That's a good question.
I don't know if we can just download it.
I actually know who made the video. Actually, it was.
Yeah, but it's more who owns the video.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I could probably find out through her.
Yeah, do that. Then we can play it on the show.
So what you're saying is, it's in my hands whether or not it gets played on the show. That's what you're saying.
Kind of, I suppose. Yeah. Well, I mean, if I could be asked, I'll just go and do it myself.
Because I know it's uploaded on Vimeo, I think.
It is, yeah. But I don't know how it works with showing us someone else's video like on the stream, because there's like that Ray William Johnson guy, right? He made like probably millions just taking other people's videos and talking about them on his own YouTube channel, where presumably without asking them for permission. So.
Oh right, isn't it? Because there's like some rule, like if it's only like 5 to 9 seconds or something, that's fine. But
no, I think there's something like that with clips of music, at least audio, like on the radio. I think if it's below a certain amount of seconds, then you don't have to pay royalties. At least in America, although because I have a friend who's who runs Sherdog Radio Network, for those of you who are MMA nerds. But I don't know if it's how it works with video content and online and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, there is an interview with Dan where he has massive afro and he mentions sandcastles. I would implore you to go and look it up and then, I don't know, tweet Yanko, tell Yanko what the entire phrase, his Swedish sandcastle phrase is.
Why tweet Yanko? He doesn't speak Swedish.
I don't know, you've got to tweet someone, right? It doesn't have to be the Swedish, could be the English. Because you do explain what it is in English.
They think they put a translation. That was the first thing anyone ever taught me in Swedish. It's definitely not pretty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's not a common phrase, though, surely.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not. No, it's not like absolutely. It's not like a common phrase. It's like some person I was talking to, I guess, was particularly perverted, James, and that's what he likes.
I used to work with someone. Actually, never mind. Better not say that publicly. No, never mind.
NSFW.
Yeah, probably, yeah. So Pronex, I think, has a VAC authentication error, which is why we have a delay at the moment. We could go to a break, but I would rather just sit here and talk.
Look what I got, James. I bought this.
What is that?
It's an Xbox One controller.
What have you bought it for?
I'm very PC Master Race, and I honestly hate controllers. But there's one game which I tried to play on PC, and it's just a nightmare, which is Dark Souls. It's the only reason I have that is for Dark Souls. That's the only reason why I have that.
It's almost the same color as the Mac 10 in the background. It's almost like a chocolate fade. thing going on here.
A copper fade.
I much prefer PlayStation pads, but then I bought a PlayStation.
Yeah.
With my first job, I bought a bicycle and I bought a PlayStation. Not at the same time, of course.
I think these controllers, I think the game was kind of designed with these controllers in mind, from what I understand, which is the reason why I got it. Because again, like I'm never going to use it for anything else. It's just Dark Souls.
So like a game like Super Meat Boy, your keyboard.
Oh yeah, well
you probably have more control of a keyboard, like when you can control things in the air, right?
Yeah, you get more precision from mechanical keyboards.
I mean, you could do that with this. I'll use the D-pad for it.
For example, like the best speedrunners for I Want to Be the Boshi, they actually use some of them use gamepads, but they all end up switching to keep the mechanical keyboards because that's how you get the best times with that game because you get more precision. You can do inputs more quickly, more precisely on a mechanical keyboard. Overall.
On the subject of mechanical keyboards, I have been waiting patiently for my newest keyboard set.
How many do you have keyboards?
Keyboards. I have 3 keyboards. I went through a lot of keyboards by different manufacturers, but then I went to Poker keyboards. I went to 10 keyless because I would show this one, but this is a terrible keyboard. I would show that on camera, but yeah, it sucks, so I won't. So 10 keyless keyboard, for those of you who don't know, the number pad is normally called the 10 keys because it has 1 to 0, so it's 10 keys. So if you don't have that, you have a 10 keyless keyboard. Although if you don't have the little arrows on the side and the page up, page down on all that, if you don't have that either, then you have a 60% keyboard. So I have 3 60% keyboards. One is for the office, which is currently over there on my 34-inch screen. One is at home, and then one I use when I travel and play Counter-Strike with
James is not telling you is he got kicked out from the office, the initial office, the actual office. You got kicked out from that.
Technically, I did. I lost my desk for the time being because the platform side are hiring a lot of people very quickly, so I had to give up. But in fairness, I'm never there, so it's a waste of space.
But you're gonna create a setup there, a streaming setup.
I was
denied.
I was going to have my my own desk in the streaming area and have my elaborate streaming setup because I haven't been streaming for ages. But that will have to come probably next year actually, because in fairness, we're not going to be here. We're not going to be anywhere near an office until January, basically, because we're going to be on the road for quite a while. Lots of interesting things coming up, which we hear about in due course. But yeah, mechanical keyboards. The newest set was supposed to be printed, or whatever you do. I don't know how they make them, manufactured, I suppose, in October and sent out in October. Then it was delayed to November the 2nd. Then I think it was delayed to November the 6th. Now it's delayed to November the 14th. So I'm really hoping that I get that soon. I think it's supposed to ship on the 14th, but we're flying to America soon after that. So I hope it arrives in time. I mean, basically the next day. Otherwise, I won't be able to use it until I come home. I
want to build a like one of our guys in production, Patrick. He showed me. I don't know if you know that YouTube channel, Linus Tech Tips or Linus Tech Tips.
Yeah,
it's like that's an awesome. I love that guy's stuff. It's an awesome channel. But one of the videos that he made was about building a PC with this thing called actually a DAN case, which is like a really really tiny case. It's called DAN case for some reason, and like the case is just big enough to actually fit like a 1080. Like, that's literally just how big it is, the size of a 1080 basically. And so I'm wondering actually if I could like build like a PC instead of like taking like building like a gaming laptop or buying a gaming laptop or something like that. If I wanted to play games abroad, because that'd be like really expensive. Those are super expensive. Could maybe just build like a DAN case, get a DAN case, and then fill it with stuff to play games on.
But I need like PC components.
Exactly. And
not like cuddly toys or.
But I need But I need a screen solution, so I don't know what I'd do for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would make much more sense to just have a laptop because.
Well, I mean, it depends how small it is because I think it's tiny.
Yeah, but like, I mean, what size screen? Because I have 10-inch screens. Have you seen my 10-inch screen? Because when I have my production company, so when I normally have like 4 or 5 screens on the table, so I have 10-inch screens for the less important information.
Because it could be like maybe like some kind of like a tablet that I could get just for the display, which maybe has like an HDMI port or something like that, and I could just
get a laptop, man.
But it'd probably be way more expensive. The gaming laptops are insanely expensive.
I know, but it's convenience, isn't it? Like, why would you carry?
That'd be pretty convenient.
It's not convenient to carry a PC abroad instead of a laptop.
No, but like for example, it will go in like my massive luggage. And I just have it in the hotel room.
I Yeah, but do you need to play games that badly? You could just always go outside instead.
Because it'd also be really good as well, like when I go home for like holidays and stuff. Because I basically don't have anything. I'm just chilling. Like if I want to like mess around on some games, then I could do that. Because I have a portable setup. Like if I want to go
That's
to
what
LAN,
laptops are for. They're portable.
if I want to go to LAN, get proper performance.
You hate
at LAN.
LAN.
Well, I only hate LAN because there's
Well, I
no
mean,
LANs
in
to
the
compete
UK.
at.
In the UK.
Well, that's because I only go to LANs to compete, and there's no LANs I can compete at because there's no games
Fair
there for me
enough.
to compete at. Because I have no team James to play with CS with. I don't have time to play in a team, so I need a one-on-one game. I'm waiting for a one-on-one game to play. Artist doesn't make sense. Fighting games doesn't make sense. I almost did though in fighting games. I almost went to a fighting game tournament because I was playing loads of fighting games. But
I just wanted to say on the subject of teams.
Yeah.
So, you know, Kiyashima went to, like, he lives in the UK, right? He's got like some super hot girlfriend who lives in the UK. He lives with her. So he went to LAN with a bunch of UK guys, and they won. I think they won. I don't know if it was iSeries or something on the Molotovs and Marshmallows team. You know what's funny then? I was on the original lineup of that team. Obviously, no one who's playing with Kiyashima was playing with me, but
So basically, they just took the name.
More or less, I guess you could say that.
That's a bit weird, isn't it?
But it was funny, wasn't it? It was well, they didn't take the name because I mean,
if there's no one of the original team playing.
Well, no, one of the players was the owner of it. So I mean,
So someone of the original team was playing.
No, he's the owner of it, of the brand.
Oh, it's a brand.
He wasn't playing.
Because it sounds like a mixed team. It's actually a brand. Actually a team.
Yeah, it's a team. Yeah.
Molotovs
They
and
won like
Marshmallows.
some League of Legends nonsense as well.
Molotov, but they're called Molotovs and Marshmallows.
Yeah, Eminem. True story. I think that's the last team I played on actually. Although it didn't last very long. But we had I think we had like a Google Doc. We were going to fill it with strats. We were going to do this. We were going to do that.
Problem is that CS on a team is so insanely time consuming. It has to be you have to be able to put 10 hours a day into it because it's not just like you practicing. It's like also like stuff that you have to do with your team at the same time. So you have your individual practice, you practice with the team, the study of the game that you do, also, and just like talking about the game. Like it's just so all consuming that you need so much time to do it properly because it's a really complex game. And people don't give it enough credit, I think, for how complex this game is. There's like so much decision making going on all the time, stuff that you actually take for granted, like do I stand here or do I stand over here? And there's like a difference, right, at certain points in the round, or the positioning of certain engagements, or how far away you are from teammates. Like really simple things. They're all it's all decision making. In fact, actually, one thing that people take for granted is movement. Actually, so for example, if you look at any professional player, every way that they move is going to be optimized based on the kinds of angles and engagements they're going to want to take. What you'll find is loads of people they have really inefficient movement. That's like really common. You see that in every FPS game. So that's like one thing that again people take for granted because they just they practice, and they kind of get these good habits, and they're just things that like they build into their heuristics, and they don't really think about it. But it's a complex game.
Loads of plebs cuss me out for my movement in the game.
I guess there's also literal movement, like your ability to like jump, effectively like land certain jumps and stuff like that, or like bunnying and stuff.
I wouldn't go that far. I just think it's just general like moving around. But then that's not really like you say like someone will tweet me around and be like, your movement is terrible. Like what can I do with that? That doesn't help. That's not information. What does that mean? Doesn't mean anything.
Because it's really interesting actually with the movement thing because like how you decide to move around, it's interesting because it's not as simple as it sounds because the way you're moving all the time, you make the choice to move in certain ways because of things that you think might happen or things that could happen or things that based on your teammates, like what flashes do they want to throw for you or like all these things. So it's like your movement is actually like a really complex thing. It's actually a really complex thing, and it takes a long time to build like really solid movement and have very good positioning all the time.
So I increased my. I've had quite an interesting journey, I would say, in the last year with my sensitivity and just mice and keyboards and not keyboards but mouse pads rather.
You should change your mousing style. I still think you need to do that.
We'll leave that for a second. And basically, I lowered my sensitivity until I got to the point where I wasn't overshooting when I was trying to aim at someone. But then playing Overwatch basically gave me RSI in both arms because my sensitivity was so low. But also, it was too low. And you could see an example like that time at the Cologne Major where Moses jumped down on Cash, and I failed to kill him. Because I play like my wrist on the end of the mouse pad. Like I have a massive mouse pad like that, but my wrist is normally down here unless I'm warping. So it was in a really awkward position where I couldn't readjust it to shoot him properly. That's why it looks so stupid. But I've put my sensitivity back to where it used to be. So it's gone from 0.9 to 1.15. But I put my zoom sensitivity ratio at 0.79, so it essentially stays the same at 0.9, if that makes any sense. So for those of you at home who don't know, your zoom sensitivity ratio will be 1 by default, and that basically changes your sensitivity when you're scoped in. If I'm not mistaken, I think Guardian has a custom zoom sensitivity ratio. I don't know how many other people do who AWP, but I'm fairly sure that he does.
Yeah, field of view effectively changes your sense space.
But mine is, I kept mine the same, and it's been like that for like a week, I would say. But it's definitely much better for me. So
I don't think this game is happening, James. If I'm honest, I just saw Prentice try to connect again, and he got the error again.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, you can see
your Steam. Oh no, he's got something else going on there, which I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that can be fixed. So it's
yeah.
a good day of games for Godsend. It has to be said. We were almost back on track.
Yeah, and
we were almost back on track.
And if you were doing favors,
it was
for
like
schedule.
It was like five minutes past, and the last game had ended, and now we're 5 rounds in, and it's almost quarter 2. So that's interesting. Pronax is having the time of his life trying to connect to the server. I remember, was it last year? It must have been last year, then when VAC authentication errors were just like all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know what causes it actually. Like I don't know that anyone knows. I mean,
well, sometimes like if you have 2 computers on one IP, like let's say a guy and a girl who live together, trying to connect to a server, they have to change. One has to change the port that they connect from. Otherwise, the first person on will block the second person from being able to connect to the server. Yeah, that's something that can happen. So like people who are all like in a team house or something may have to do that as well, which is interesting. Anyway, what were you saying about my mouse style?
Your technique. Yeah, you should change it.
I should play
because
like this on a arm.
One thing I can say is like, if you like, for example, if you're playing tennis, right, and you want to hit the ball. Let's say you know the ball's coming here, you want to do a forehand, but sometimes what if you're standing here and the ball's coming there? You know, you want to do a backhand, right? So you have to change your technique effectively for the situation at hand. And it's similar for mousing as well. Like, not all people need to do it. Depends on, because people tend to like, you know, gripping a mouse in a certain way, like certain, you know, friction and stuff like that. But some people are going to have very low sensitivities where they're going to be much more arm dominant. Some people are going to be preferring higher sensitivities where they're much more wrist precision. And that's just like 2 different techniques. But if you're kind of in the middle, it can get a bit weird because I have this problem where like I want to do both basically, but I had to like, for like you, for example, I was always using just wrist, and actually I got error sight at a point as well because I lowered it too much and I was just doing that. But if you actually like learn multiple techniques and just put yourself in a posture where you can utilize multiple techniques based on what you're trying to do, like for example, you need less precision for tracking. If you're doing tracking aim, you're just like you flick to a target and then you're just tracking them. Then I changed the way that I mouse for that. I use more arm. I like changed how my hand is on the actual mouse pad itself. I like take the wrist off, because if you're wrist aiming, your wrist is like generally on the pad, and you kind of pivot with the wrist, which limits your ability to turn much more wide. But if you remove the butt of your wrist from the pad, you're able to then use more of your arm, so you can use more of the mouse pad, and you can have more turning, which means you have less tension on the mouse. Because for example, like it's the same thing when you're like exhausting your voice, you're running out of breath. You get to a point where your words start to like, you kind of start messing up your words because you don't have enough breath. It's the same thing. You like lose range of motion. So when you're getting to the edge of tracking that opponent, if you're still wrist aiming, you don't have the range to do it properly. So your aim gets terrible and you start gripping the mouse more. But if you're just tracking with a better technique, you can just track for days, and it's like smooth. So it like really depends, I think, what you're trying to do and your sensitivities, and you can learn those different techniques. Like one thing that's really cool was like the old Russian style, where they have like keyboard on lap, and they actually sit on the desk like this, and they mouse like this, which like looks really weird, but it's actually very good for your posture because they can like lean, because they get right into the desk. and they're kind of leaning back a little bit, which is good for your posture, good for your back health. And at the same time, they've got like their shoulder is perfectly supported, and they have all the arm, but they can also use wrist, so they can like use all the different techniques.
Yeah,
so,
Rafa plays like that.
Yeah.
So for those of you who watch Overwatch, you can see him. There's always a camera, like on a LAN of Rafa, because his style is very, very different to everyone else's.
Kula used to play like that as well, but he actually switched back to more of a normal style. Sturmy, who's you know, he's I don't know if he's really known in the CS community. I guess he's not, is he?
He's our chief gaming officer.
Yeah, he's basically like the Fatality of Italy, more or less. He's probably one of the most successful FPS players of all time, I guess. Like if you look at all of his success in all the multiple games that he's played, he's like one of the best FPS players. No one tell him I said that, please. no one tell him I said that. But he actually plays like kind of like James does, where he's a similar style of mousing, but he actually plays much deeper into the desk. His mouse is actually behind the monitor, and he uses his entire arm, or he has the option to use his entire arm.
He's like that, right?
But you're kind of like stuck with your arm kind of like here, and you're using a lot of wrist.
Yeah, I'm using almost two styles, I'd say. Like if I don't even know what it. I think I'm not even consciously thinking about what determines it. Like if I'm AWPing, my arm's going to be like, my wrist's going to be deeper into the table, and it depends on the style of AWPing I'm doing as well.
I think you're also like a big dude, so it's like hard for you to like get a good comfortable fit on a desk, probably because you're massive.
I want to get one of those desks where you can bring the level up and down.
That's awesome,
I currently play on a bureau as well, which doesn't help. So everything is a mess. When I finally get rid of that, then you know what, I'll be a much better gamer.
Why don't you get rid of the bureau already? Get like a €40 desk from IKEA. That would be good as well.
No, I want the electric one. I want the one that goes up and down.
You must spend £1,000.
They have those in the Twitch office, yeah. But well, you know me, I like to spend all my money and have
the cash.
and have
How much
no money
are
left.
they? How much are those desks? Because I have no idea.
I don't know actually. I was looking. I think it was MK. Is it called MKBHD? That dude on YouTube.
I've never even
reviewed everything.
Looked at one.
There's different qualities of one, but it's the good quality one. I can't remember. But I do want to get one of those at one point. If you have one, let us know. Send us pictures.
Will you get a treadmill?
In fact,
as well?
just send us pictures of your desks. A treadmill.
Yeah, so like.
Oh right, because you can stand and walk in them.
Walking desk.
No.
That's what some people call it. Some people call them walking desks because
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not cool enough to do that. I mean, like, what if you want to sit down? You have to move an entire treadmill out of the way. Like, that's just some. I bet there's some idiot out there who's doing that, but it's not me. We're back into the match. Welcome back.